Hello, everybody. My name is Kata, and I am here with your Wednesday workout. And today it's not actually a workout. We are actually going to do a little bit of foam rolling. I had a request from a client of mine for more information about foam rolling and whether it is something that we should be doing and what are the effects on the body and kind of how it does it work. So I kind of like to think of it as your muscles are a little bit like a sausage. So our muscles are inside a casing, kind of. So you want to think about the sausage in the casing. And if that casing is really, really tight, you're not going to be able to get very much movement for the muscles inside. We also have a lot of connective tissue in our body, and you would be amazed how just rolling out your feet helps loosen up your legs and your low back and all the way up into your upper back. So everything kind of starts from the ground up. Another way to think about it is saran wrap. If you have two pieces of flat saran wrap, they don't glide across each other really well, but they do tend to slide a little bit. Now, imagine you have two pieces of crumpled up saran wrap, and they are not going to want to glide over each other very well. There's going to be very restricted movement. And so foam rolling can help. It's self-myofascial release. And it's kind of like going and getting a massage. And you can change it to range from Swedish to deep tissue, depending on what kind of tool you use. I know people, and myself included, I use yoga tune-up balls personally. You can also use a tennis ball, maybe a racquetball. I would definitely not recommend a golf ball. I would not recommend, table tennis. Those are just going to crush. Golf balls are going to be really small, and they're going to be like somebody's jabbing a thumb into your body. I also like to use a Rolga roller. This is just my personal preference. I find it to be more comfortable because it's contoured to my body, but you can absolutely do this with a cylindrical roller that you may already have at your home. These are just my personal preferences, and I like that I can roll my back and it's going to protect my spine, and it's also I find a little bit less uncomfortable to roll with a contoured roller versus a normal cylindrical one. But use what you have. You don't have to go buy new equipment. So we're just going to start out. I'm just going to do a lower body rolling today. And as you can probably tell, I just got done with a workout. I'm very hot and sweaty, but this is almost the perfect time to do it because my muscles are already warmed up and I can focus on getting a little bit more relaxation and rolling out those muscles. This can help with it helps with blood flow. It can also help a little bit with the delayed onset muscle soreness, which is the soreness you get 24 and especially 48 hours after you work out. I'm notorious for DOMS, 2 days after a good workout, and I'm definitely feeling it. So we're going to start out, and if you need a little support, hold on to a chair, hold on to a wall or a table, whatever. And you're just going to take your foot and you're just going to put it on the roller. So you almost want to think kind of like you're letting your foot drape over the roller. If you're using a Rolga like mine, you're going to want to put it on one of the higher hills. And we're just going to roll back and forth. Just roll back and forth. You don't have to do anything fancy. How much pressure you put on this is up to you. If your balance is pretty good, you can actually stand on this and do a little bit of movement, but we're just going to do a little bit of rolling like this. Good. And now I'm going to hold it right in the center, and I'm just going to kind of rock my ankle a little bit. And now I'm going to think about like I'm trying to curl my feet around the roller and then spread. So just a little curl, spread, curl, spread. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. And I'm going to turn a little more forward with this one. You're going to stand nice and tall, and you're just going to roll forwards and backwards. And you can go slow, you can go fast. I kind of like to go from the outside edge of my foot all the way to the inside edge of my foot. If you have a tennis ball or you have the yoga tune-up balls, if you've ever done classes like that with me, you can absolutely do this with one of the balls. Just know that that is going to be a little bit more pressure. So definitely control how much pressure you're putting on it. Good. And now we're just going to do the ankle. So lift the toes, lift the heels. So pointing and flexing, getting a little ankle in there. Good, and now center it, and again, we're just going to curl around and then lift. Curl, lift. Good. All right, so now we're going to go down to the floor, and we're going to stay down here. So we're going to start working on our calves. So I am going to put my calf, if you've got one like mine, you're going to put it on the ridge just on the outside of the center. If you're using another type of roller, just go ahead and use what you have. Now the trick with some of these is you can support yourself, have your other foot flat, and you're just going to kind of roll backwards and forwards. So I think about it like I'm sliding my butt forwards and backwards. Good. So you want to try to go all the way down to where the skinnier part of your calf opens up into the muscle. You don't want to go directly behind the knee. You want to just get close to where the muscle gets to the knee, but not immediately behind it. And then you're going to just kind of sit down, and you can go side to side with it. If you find a sore spot or a tender spot, hold it there, breathe, and try to get the muscle to relax. And you can also do some pointing and some flexing. Good. Now, if you've got a roller like mine, you're going to put that calf right in the middle, dead in the middle. If you've got a regular roller, just relax and kind of let it calm down a little. So for the Rolga roller, when you put it on that ridge, that hill, you kind of separate the muscle a little, not really, but you kind of, separate it. When you put it in the middle, now we're kind of putting it back together again. Good. All right, we're going to switch. We're going to do the other side. So again, just put that calf on your roller, on the ridge if you've got a Rolga. Adjust yourself as necessary, and we're going to just slide. I like to keep my foot relaxed, and I like to think instead of pulling it up, because when we do this, we're stretching and kind of tightening up that muscle, I keep my foot nice and relaxed as I roll, trying to go for the entire muscle. And again, don't go immediately behind your knee. Good. And then if you find a sore spot, like, oh, I just found a sore spot right there, you can sit, relax, breathe, try to get that muscle to relax. Good. And then we can go side to side. So windshield wipers. And then we can point and flex our ankle as well. You'll notice that one side is going to be tighter than the other. That tends to be how our body works. Good. And now if you are using a Rolga like mine, put it right in the middle. If you're using a traditional roller, then go ahead and relax. I will say, yes, you can also do this with a couple of tennis balls, but again, it's going to be like somebody is giving you a deep tissue massage, whereas this is a little bit more like a Swedish massage. So now we're going to go and we're going to do our shins. Option one for doing this, I do them both at the same time, is I will kneel on my roller and I get into a plank position. I will do both at the same time, running top to bottom. You can absolutely do one at a time. So this is also a little bit of a good core workout. Yeah? So you keep doing that. I'm also going to show you that you can do this a little bit on a chair. If you've got 2 tennis balls, this works out well as well. But you can just put it on a chair and you just roll forwards and backwards. It's a little trickier when you've got a roller versus if you just had like the tennis balls. But it is kind of possible to do this. So if you're doing one leg, go ahead and switch. If you're doing both, you can keep going if it feels okay, or you can give yourself a little bit of a rest. This is also a good way to get an ab workout in, because I'm holding a plank and I'm doing some knee tucks. Good, I'm going to do one more. Good, and then I'm going to carefully bring it down and come back up. Next one that we're going to do is we're going to do our hamstrings. So we're going to sit and we're going to take this and we're going to place it. I'm going to do both legs personally. Again, you don't want to go directly behind the knee, but I'm going to just bring myself up and I'm going to sit and I'm just going to roll forwards and backwards. This one's a little tricky, so if you need to do one at a time. And then I roll myself back, and again, I keep myself nice and relaxed so you can bring it up, little reverse bridge, and rolling forwards. You can also do this, again, sitting on a bench or a very sturdy chair, but really have to make sure that you are not going to roll yourself off of the front of that chair. Sitting in a chair works a little bit better if you've got, a couple of tennis balls or the yoga tune-up balls. But we're just going to roll forwards and backwards. Good. And you can even have it in a spot, butt on the ground, and just do a little bit of bending and straightening. Doesn't do a lot, but it does help. Good. All right. Last one that we're going to do is we are going to do our quads. We're going to do the front of the legs. So again, you're going to be hands and knees, and you're going to want to start, you don't want to start in the crease right in your hips. You're going to want to start a little bit lower. So we want to stay out of that inguinal fold. You do have arteries and veins that are very important that run through there. So we're going to start a little bit lower. And again, you can do one or you can do both. And you're just going to lie in a plank position on your quads, starting just below the crease. And again, you're just going to go forwards and backwards a little bit. Good. And then I kind of walk myself a little further forwards, and then I do a couple more. Just a little forwards and backwards. So you're doing a bit of a seesaw plank, working the shoulders. So the goal is to try to relax. I find that certain spots in my quads are very tight and the rest are okay. And then again, we're going to go forward and we're just going to go down to just above the knee where those muscles connect. Again, if you find a sore spot, like right about there is a little tender for me, take a couple of deep breaths. Try to get those muscles to relax. If they don't relax after 3 to 5 breaths, go ahead and move on. You don't have to go any farther. If you want to, this one makes it a little bit of a double whammy. You can start adding in some knee bends. Good. You can also add in a little bit of windshield wiper action. Find those sore spots, like right there. I'm dying right now. Good. All right. You're going to kind of roll yourself back, drop the knees, come up to a kneeling or seated position. So make sure, just like when you go and get a massage, after you do a little bit of foam rolling, you definitely want to be drinking a lot of fluids. It's going to help your system flush any of the stuff out of your body. So we're not, necessarily flushing out like, a lot of toxins and stuff, but we are moving a lot of cellular waste and things like that out of our system when we are doing this. So you want to drink plenty of water, and it's also going to help keep you hydrated and all of that. So I will continue to do more foam rolling tutorials. I just wanted to keep it somewhat short and sweet today. And since we just did cardio kickboxing, I thought today would be a really good day to do some lower body work. I will also do some more tutorials using a tennis ball or the yoga tune-up balls. But go ahead and give those a shot, see how they work for you. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will see everybody later. So bye.